Om Akhandam Satchidanandam Avang Manasagocharam Atmanam Akhiladharam Ashraye Bhishta Siddhaye. We are studying here Sadananda Yati's Vedanta Sar, and we have reached up to sentence 180, and we must at this point look into what we have studied up till now. And what we have studied? Saguru Paramakrupaya Adhyaropa Apadanayana Enam Upadishati. So a fit disciple has gone to a fit guru, and the guru teaches him by the method of Adhyaropan Apavad. And what happens? Adhyarop means superimposition. He tells him that the world is a superimposition on Brahman. So Brahman is transcendent, and that we can see that very Brahman as all this. This is called Apvad. So when he teaches by this method, what happens? The meaning of the sentence Tattvamasi, the meaning of Tat and Tvam become refined in his mind. That means he catches the indicated meaning instead of the literal meaning. And when he catches the indicated meaning, the identity between the reality denoted by Tat and denoted by Tvam, he finds the identity. That was first thing we learned. Second thing we learned was that if we want to find out the meaning of Tattvamasi, it can be done with three different relations. Samanadikaranya, Vishesha Visheshana, and Lakshya Lakshana. And we have learned in details the right meaning of these three relations and examples of the wrong meaning of these three relations also we have seen. So what is the net result? We found the identity between the individual soul and the Supreme Spirit. And then what happened as a result? We felt, we experienced Aham Brahmasmi. And in this experience of Aham Brahmasmi, there was a mental wave. And this mental wave gave us the perfect reflection of Brahman. And it was such perfect in our own chitta that we felt identity with that. So in this feeling of identity, there were three factors: the reflection and the I consciousness and the feeling of identity. So we may say that the experiencer of this vritti called I was still there, like a suspension. And when that becomes clear, when the so-called suspension dissolves totally, this I goes away. And when the I goes away, that vritti, though a product of the mind, which is again a product of wrong knowledge, but within that vritti, the knowledge is shining. And this knowledge which is shining in the vritti, the knowledge of identity, removes the darkness or the ignorance. And because the wrong knowledge has gone, so the vritti also goes away. This was described beautifully. And then he told us that it is different from any other vritti. In the vrittis in the world, I am the subject and there are objects. And this will never go. But in this case, because the reality is not an object, the reflection was an object. And so, when the reality shines, there is a flash, and this goes away, which cannot happen. In the worldly vrittis, I will always remain the subject, and the world will always remain an object. because that is all a shadow only. The whole world is a shadow only, so that will never go. But when we make the reality as the object, that means we are making the reflection as an object. And when the reality actually shines, this will definitely go away. So this is not like ordinary Vritti. Up till this we had studied. Now you may say, what remains? I would say nothing. But usually what happens, our perceptions are very weak. We are not 100% pure. So it is expected that we have to follow certain practices. That is the sentence number 181. Evam bhuta swaswarupa chaitanya sakshatkara paryantam shravana manana nididhyasana samadhi anushthanasya apekshitatvat tepi pradarshante. You may say you have to add one word in general, ordinarily. Apekshitatvat, it is expected that. It is expected that ordinarily we will be following certain procedure. Anushtan, that means actual practical life. We will be following some sequence or some procedure. Ordinarily expected that we shall be following some procedure. That should be the correct translation. And what is that? Shravana na evam bhuta swaswarupa chaitanya sakshatkara paryantam. Evam bhuta. That means which has already been described. What has been described? Our own real nature, which is nothing but consciousness. Now here, a little digressive talk I hear from people. Here the word is Swarupa Chaitanya. What is Swarupa Chaitanya? What is Sakshi Chaitanya? What is this Chaitanya? What is that Chaitanya? Somebody was pestering me like that again and again. And I told him, I know only one Chaitanya, Brahma Chaitanya. So Swarupa Chaitanya is not something different. Chaitanya is only one. But that is my real nature. The statement here is that Chaitanya is a Sakshi. That Chaitanya perceives everything but is not changed. That Chaitanya is my own real nature. So these are the different ways in which we are looking at the Chaitanya. Chaitanya does not become hundreds. So, Swarupa Chaitanya, we have Sakshatkar, the Aparoksha Anubhav. We have more than direct perception of our real nature, which is nothing but consciousness. Till such thing happens, it is expected ordinarily that we shall be following certain practices. And they are Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, Samadhi Anushthan. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana is what is prescribed as sadhana in Vedanta, according to the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad and everywhere. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana are the practices usually prescribed. We shall discuss all of them. And here we find one more addition, Samadhi. This Samadhi can only mean concentration or absorption to its perfection. This Samadhi means we are following the process, we are following the practical of Samadhi. That means along with Shravan, Manana, Nididhyasana, we are also practicing methods for concentration or absorption in the reality. Now, what is Shravana? If we refer to Kathopanishad, Ananya Prokte Gatiratra Nasti. If a man, Ananya Prokte has three meanings, huh? All three correct we have to take. a man who is not different from Brahman. That means a person who has realized his identity with Brahman. Ananya Prakte, when he tells us, and how he tells us that you are not different from Brahman. So the other meaning of Ananya Bhave Prakte, when he tells me that you are not different from Brahman, and Ananya also means that he is identified with me. He is not a teacher teaching a student. If he is identified with Brahman, he knows that he is identified with everybody. And the only feeling in him is, if I realized in this body, I should realize in that body also. So when he speaks in this identical fashion and tells me that you are identical with Brahman, then Gati Ratra Nasti. There is no escape from realization. That means we are bound to come to realization. If such a, that means if we hear from such a man, so Shravana is the direct means of realization in the fit candidate. And Shankara's dearest disciple, Padmapad, has emphasized this fact. What is the means of realization? Shravana. Now there is another school of people under Shankaracharya. And they also have equal support. Say Shata Shatarupnish. Brahma Adino Vadanti Kim Karanam Brahma. And then they discuss intellectually theories. And then they Dhyana Yoganugata question. They realize by undertaking meditation as the means of realization. So meditation is emphasized by some people and they have their full support. Another school will tell us that it is by Shravana the knowledge comes. But because our mind is not so pure, because our thoughts have been vitiated for anadikal, so we have to change our thinking in the light of that Shravana, and that is Manana. And even after that, there are deep sanskaras of bhoga, of subject-object consciousness in us, very, very deep. And so we have to meditate so that those sanskaras are uprooted. After all this exercise, what we will experience? The same truth which you had heard. Realization takes place by hearing. The obstructions are removed by manana and further by nididhyasana. That is another way to look at it. If we look at Shankara himself in the Chatusutri, he will tell us that when Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana become one, then we realize. That means Shravana itself should be such that it makes me think. I have heard the truth, I have made a dharana of it, I have conceived it, but my thinking is vitiated. So instead of putting my thinking on the truth which I have heard, I should revise my thinking. I will add, I should revise my thinking, feeling, will, everything in the light of the truth which I have heard. This is manana. The English correct word for manana is reflection. I should reflect the light of the truth on my thinking, feeling, and willing. Now, Shravana, if properly done, itself will cause me to think. Because the comparison will go on. What I have heard is true, but I think like that, but I think like that, and that itself will lead me to revise my own thinking. If not, Shravana is useless. So Shravana itself makes me think. Now, according to Swami Vivekananda's words, let it mingle with every drop of blood in every vein, in every breath. So that is what will happen by Manana. My Guruji's words, if I use, your thought world has changed, your idea world has changed. Then I find that some glimpse of experience starts. And then I go deeper and find out my obstacles of bhoga, that Shravana itself will cause me to go deeper and remove, uproot those obstacles. So Shravana, if rightly done, causes me Manana and Nididhyasana. And then I realize we go by what Sri Ramakrishna told his son, Vedanti disciple Hari Maharaj or Turiyananda, that when you are heard Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya, you have to get a conception of that. Then you have to do Manana, then you have to do Nididhyasana till you realize. So, I told you the several ways in which this is looked at. Shravana gives knowledge that is made our own by Manana and made into realization by Nididhyasana. Now, at that point, if we are not practiced, let us go like that. If from the beginning we have not practiced to concentrate or absorb our mind in the reality, this thing will not happen. So, concentration or absorption is being practiced in some cases from childhood. They are taught to meditate, they are taught to concentrate in their heart. And so, ordinarily, all these four practices are taken up. So, that is what Sadananda says. I have not explained what is Nididhyasana. Nididhyasana means, Sri Ramakrishna told Turiyan Swami that you have got a hold on Brahman. But other ideas also are rising in you. And keeping your hold on Brahman, you have to uproot or throw away any other ideas coming to you. This is Nididhyasana. So Nididhyasana is not already ordinary meditation as we understand. Nididhyasana is that you have got hold on the concept of Brahman. But due to sanskaras or wrong thinking, the other ideas also are rising that you have to remove. That is Nididhyasana. It is a positive and negative sort of meditation. You are already feeling of Brahman has come and you have to retain that hold. And whatever is other things are coming in the mind, you have to remove that. This is Nididhyasana. Now let us see what Sadananda Yati has to tell about it. So by his first sentence, Evam Bhuta Swaswarupa Chaitanya Sakshatkara Paryantam Shravana Manana Nididhyasana Samadhi Anushtanasya Apekshitatvat. Ordinarily, it is expected that we are following Shravana Manana Nididhyasana and also we are following methods by which the mind will become concentrated or absorbed in the reality. So, because they are expected, so they appear pradarshante. So, Sadananda wants to define them as his method to show us what they are. Pradarshante means he wants to show us, like an exhibition, if these are our exhibits. So, he wants to show us the meaning of all these terms. Now, we come to 182, Shravanam Nama. Shravana means Shadvida Lingair Ashesha Vedanta Nam Advitiya Vastuni Tatparya Avadharanam. Shadvida Lingai. There are 6 signs. Linga means sign. 6 signs. Ashesha Vedanta Nam. That means of all the Upanishads. Advitya Vastuni Tatparya. Tatparya means they are pointing out ultimately to the reality. They may talk many things, but the aim is to ultimately point out Advaita, the non-dual reality. Our own identity with Brahman is, that is what is called non-dual. So, by 6 signs, we have to understand that all the Upanishads are showing us, indicating us, telling us that ultimately you have to reach there. That is Tatparya. Tatparya, that means the ultimate point where they are pointing out. Avadharanam, a firm conviction, dharana is there, concept. And that concept should become firm. Some people are of intellectual conviction, I don't understand what is that. I have seen people intellectually understanding and nothing happening to their life. So, dharana, avadharana. Dharana means conception. And avadharana means a firm conception. So, he has defined Shravana as resulting in firm dharana. I have already told you, if the real mind listens, it itself will give us knowledge, but as ordinarily, we have to understand that it produces a firm conception. Now, what are those 6 signs? Linga nitu, upakramopasamhara, abhyasa, apurvata, phala, arthavada, upapatti akhyani. The names of these 6 signs are like this. Upakramopasamhara. That means, in the beginning, the scripture tells me of identity. It concludes also by telling me of the identity. So, this is a sign to understand that it talks of identity. It begins with identity, it ends with identity. So many things it tells in between. But it concludes in identity. It concludes in what it began with. This is the first sign that the scriptures are telling me about the identity. Abhyasa. And then not only beginning at end, in between, again and again, that truth is being pointed out. This is another sign. Here, people from Maharashtra will tell something. Those who have heard Kirtanas, the Kirtankar, Marathi Kirtan is different from Bengali Kirtana. This type of Kirtan, Marathi Kirtan, is available in Tamil Nadu also because it has gone through Tanjore. The Kirtankar, we don't say Kirtaniya, Kirtankar utters one shloka or one sentence of the scriptures and then goes on talking so many things and comes back to that again and again. So, you must be remembering one Marathi expression, Haridasachi katha mool padavar ali. Again and again. He is telling so many things, but he has come back to the original scriptural sentence which it so told again and again. So that is the method. So abhyasa, again and again, that is being pointed out. If we find that, then that is the sign that it is talking of identity. Apurvata, another important sign that it is talking of something which is not available elsewhere. Unless you go to the Rishi's experience in the Upanishads, this identity is not available anywhere else. So it is something new. taught in the Upanishads only, then it is the sign that Upanishads are talking of that. Now you'll find in Upanishads so many dualistic or other statements will be there, reasoning will be there. That is available in other places also. So that is not what the Upanishad wants to teach us. What the Upanishad wants to teach us is that which is in the Upanishads only. So there is a statement in many places. I am to Upanishadam Purusham Prachama. I am asking you that being which is described in the Upanishads. So that is called Apurvata, third sign. Well, and the result of all this discussion is our realization. Prayojan. So the Upanishads will tell that if you realize this, you have reached your goal. So that is another sign. In no other case, it will describe the goal. You will, if you do like this, you will get this. So many things are told. But the final realization is gives you mukti, gives you sense of fulfillment, kritarthata. So this phala is another sign that it is talking of that identity which gives you fulfillment. Arthavada, just now I told you, so many things will be praised about that. So many praises will be done about that. So when you find that something is being praised again and again, you understand that is their lesson. Arthavada. Upapatti. Upapatti means reasons, Anuman Praman, Upaman Praman, Arthapatti Praman, all these other means of secondary means of knowledge are being applied to what he is telling. What is logically proving the reality. So if you find lot of arguments or Upaman and all that about the identity, you should understand that identity is the lesson to be taught. Akhyani. These six are the names of the signs that Upanishads are talking of identity. This very thing he gives a quotation from where the editors have not found out. Tad Uttam Upakramapasamharau Abhyaso Apurvata Phalam Arthavadopapatti cha Lingam Tatparya Nirnaye. That is the same thing. Now, he is now telling each one of them with examples. And what example he has taken? Chandogya Upanishad, 6th chapter, he has taken. Chandogya Upanishad, 6th chapter he has taken. And in that he is showing Prakarana Pratipadyasya Arthasya Tat Adyanta Yor Upapadanam Upakramapasamharo. What he wants to tell us, he tells in the beginning as well as end. Yatha, example, Chandogya Shashtadhyaye Prakarana Pratipadyasya Advitiya Vastuna Ekameva Dvitiyam Ityadau. Starts by telling Sadeva Somya Idamagre Asit Ekameva Dvitiyam and ends in the 8th section. Aitad Atmamidam Sarvam Tattvamasi Shvetagato. So ends in the same thing. This is your reality that thou art. Iti ante cha pratipadanam. So the example is here. A brightest example has found out about one chapter. For example, everywhere it is like that it has begun with identity, it has concluded with identity. Second was Abhyasa. Prakarana Pratipadyasya Vastuna Tanmadde Pauna Punnena Pratipadanam Abhyasa. Tanmadde, between the beginning and end, again and again that very identity is being told. Yatha Tatreva, in the 6th chapter of the Chandogya, Advitiya Vastuni Madde Tattvamasiti Navakrutva Pratipadanam. This sentence, Tattvamasi, Aruni has uttered 9 times to Shvetaketu, with showing different reasons, showing different examples. He again comes to Tattvamasi 9 times. So this is the sign, repetition. Prakarana Pratipadyasya Advitiya Vastuna Pramanantara Avishayikaranam Apurvata. Pramanantar Avishayikaranam. It is not available by any other means of knowledge. That is called Apurvata. Yatha Tatriva Advitiya Vastuna Manantar Avishayikaranam. There itself it is told that it is not available by any other means. Paramtu. Prakarana Pratipadyasya Atmajnanasya Tadanushtanasya va Atmajnan or its practice. Tatra Shruyamana Prayojanam. In those places, the purpose of that has been told. Yatha Tatra Acharyavan Purusho Veda Tasya Tavadeva Chiram Yavanna Vimokshe Atha Sampatse. Once you have got the real teacher, you have realized only some time may be lapsed. That is the told here. So that is the prayojan that you have realized. If you have got a proper teacher, iti advitiya vastu jnanasya tat prapti prayojanam shruyate. So Advaita vastu knowledge is the getting Advaita. Knowledge here itself is achievement. That is the prayojan, that is the phala. Prakarana Pratipadyasya Tatra Prashansanam Arthavada, and praising that what is being told, Pratipadya, what is being shown, if that is being praised again and again, that is called Arthavada. Yatha Tatreva Utatam Adesham Apraksho Yena Ashrutam Shrutam Bhavati Amatam Matam Avigyatam Vigyatam iti Advitiya Vastu Prashansanam. In the beginning, Aruni asked Shvetaketu, did you ask that question? By which things not heard will become heard, by which things not thought of will become thought of, by which things which are not experienced will become experienced. So that is the praise, secondary type of praise about the thing. Prakarana Pratipadyartha Sadhane Tatra Shuvamana Yukti Upapatti. And there so many reasons and upmanas are given for the same identity. Yatha Tatra, Yatha Somme Ekena Mutpandena Sarvam Mrunmayam Vigyatam Syat Vacharambanam Vikaro Namadev Mritika Ityava Satyam Ityado Advitiya Vastu Sadhane Vikarasya Vacharamana Matratve Yukti Shruyate. There itself it was told that if you know one lump of clay, you know everything made of clay, because everything is nothing but a modification of tongue, modification of Vani, only a name. Namadheyam, Namamatram. And so, clay is the only truth, relative example. So, this is called Yukti, the reason. The reason means through examples it has been shown, so that is called the Yukti. For identity, for telling that clay is the only reality, by telling that all the other things, changing things which you see are nothing but the names you have given them. So he has described Shravana in this way. Mananam tu means manana has a different meaning. Shrutasya advitiya vastuno Vedanta anuguna yuktivir anavaratam anuchintanam. He has told that a continuity of thinking according to reason or logic, which is corresponding to what the Upanishads are telling. If we leave our reasoning independent, we may go to hell. Independent of reasoning, will lead us to nihilism. But when our reasoning follows, our thinking, feeling, will follows the truth given in the Upanishads. So we revise. That is what I was telling. You revise. Anuguna yukti. That means corresponding reason we have to find out. What Vedanta is telling, that truth, corresponding to that should be our thinking. Advitya vastu, no? From Vedanta we have heard about the reality which is non-dual. Corresponding to that should be our thinking. Anavarata, continuously. Anuchintanam. Anuchintanam is we are following Shruti and thinking. Well, I remember my days in Nagpur. And I have seen my Guruji and his disciples always thinking in this direction. What is going to express Brahman better? What is going to influence the man who will read this into thinking of Advaita comparatively? That is called Manana. Now, Nididhyasana. Vijatiya Dehadi Pratyaya Rahita Advitiya Vastu Sajatiya Pratyaya Pravaho Nididhyasana. Pratyaya Pravaho. Pratyaya means experience. Through this vritti, it is a flow of the vritti. Vijatiya Dehadi Pratyaya Rahita. That means if we get experience of our body, thought about our body, our mind, or then it is against thinking of the Advaita. They are unreal. So, Rahita, without them, Sajatiya, that means of the same type. About the Advaita only, same type. If the flow happens, that is called Nididhyasana. Nididhyasana is the flow of the mind, which is according to the truth, without being anything opposite coming into it. Nididhyasana. Now comes Samadhi, concentration or absorption. This is a topic more specially taken by Patanjali. We will compare with that also. Samadhi is dvividha. Savikalpako nirvikalpaschaiti. Samadhi means concentration or absorption is of two types. One is called Savikalpa, other Nirvikalpa. Savikalpa means I is present. I and my God is present. Nothing else of the world. This is also called Bhava Samadhi. I am playing with God. I am one with God. I am seeing God. Nothing else. So, it is Samadhi because there is nothing else. It is Savikalpa because I am still present. The other is Nirvikalpa, where I am also not present. Shananda describes it beautifully in his own way. Tatra Savikalpako nama Gyatru Gyanadi Vikalpa Laya Anapekshaya Advitiya Vastuni Tadakara Karitaya Chitta Vrutter Avasthanam. There is a wave in the mind in which the knower, known, and knowing, they have not vanished. What is called Triputi. I know Brahman. I feel identical with Brahman. So I am there. Object is there. The feeling of identity is there. They have not vanished. And yet, I am feeling Advaita only. That is called Savikalpa. I told in short, the experience is present. That is called Savikalpa. Avasthanam. That means the mental wave is always of that type. He gives a beautiful example. Beautiful example. Tada mrunmaya gajadi bhane api mrud bhanavat advaita bhane api dvaita bhane api advaitam vastu bhasati. There is a elephant made of clay. No, in my awareness, there is elephant also and clay also. I become aware that it is only clay, but the elephant idea has not gone from the mind. That is the example. I see the world. I see the reflection of Brahman, but I feel identical also. So I and the world are there, but the identity feeling also is there. They have not gone totally. So that is called the Savikalpa Samadhi. Immanence of God in this way. God is all pervading. That means we are pursuing all also and we are pursuing God also. So that is called Savikalpa Samadhi. The main thing here is that I, the experiencer, is present. Taduktam. For this he gives a quotation from Shankaracharya's Upadesha Sahasri. Drishi Swarupam Gaganopamam Param Sakrut Vibhatam Tajamekam Aksharam Alepakam Sarvagatam Yad Advayam Tadeva Chaham Satatam Vimuktamom Iti. Drishi Swarupam of the type of consciousness, like the space, absolutely beyond, it shines once forever. Two, Ajam, unborn, Ekam, Aksharam, one, without any change. Alepekam, untouched by anything. Sarvagatam, all pervading. Yad Advayam, that non-dual reality. Tadevach Aham, that is what I am. So I am. Satatam Vimuktam, I am always free. Om. So I am that is shown by Sadananda Iti to Vidhi Savikalpa Samadhi. Remember, Aham Brahmasmi is a Savikalpa Samadhi. Nirvikalpakastu. Gyatru Gyanadi Vikalpa Laya Apekshaya Advitiya Vastuni Tadakara Karitaya Chitta Vruttir Atitaram Eki Bhavena Avasthanam. That Vritti dissolves into identity. There, the knower, known are not remain separate. Laya Apekshaya, that means they are dissolved. Advitiya Vastuni Tadakara, the Chitta Vritti had taken up that form, and then that Chitta Vritti has become one. The Vritti has become knowledge. Eki Bhavena Avasthanam. Eki Bhavena, that means the difference is lost. The Vritti also is lost. The identity only remains. That is called Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Example. Tadatu Jalakara Karita Lavana Anavabhasena Jalamatra Avabhasavat Advitiya Vastu Akara Karita Chitta Vrittir Anavabhasena Advitiya Vastu Matram Avabhasate. Example, salt becomes completely dissolved in water. So we are not aware of the salt, now we are aware only of water. Similarly, that Chitta Vritti, which was of the form of Aham Brahmasmi Anavabhasena, that Vritti is not further shining. Advitiya Vastu Matram Avabhas. The only thing flashing there is Advaita. A flash comes and all this goes away. So that is Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Now, this may appear like deep sleep. Some people have gone to the length of, there was a book by one of our Swamis, that Sushupti is Samadhi. So there is some similarity, and similarity confuses us. So Sadananda is very alert to that and said this is not like deep sleep. There is a lot of difference. And he points out that difference beautifully. Tatasya asya sushuptesya abheda shanka na bhavati. It is not non-different from deep sleep. It is not non-different from deep sleep. That means it is different. Ubhayatra vritti abhane samanepi. In deep sleep also we are not aware of any wave. In Nirvikal Samadhi there is no wave. In deep sleep we are not aware of any wave. In Nirvikal Samadhi there is no wave. Tat sadbhava asadbhava matrena anayor vedopapatte. But vritti is there in deep sleep. In Nirvikal Samadhi, vritti is not there. Though we are not aware of vritti in deep sleep, but vritti is very much there. It has become very subtle, very subtle, very subtle. We do not perceive anything. We only experience happiness, and we are experiencing that happiness. That is the vritti. We experience our happiness experience, and we are experiencing that. So that vritti is present. In Nirvikal Samadhi, I and experience Brahman, the vritti has vanished. So, yeto vacho nivartante aprapya manasasa. It has gone beyond mind or any description. So, in one sentence, he has shown the difference from the Sushupti. Now, what remains? He was describing concentration. And he told concentration is savikalpa or nirvikalpa. Now, asya angani. Anga does not mean parts, please. Anga means steps. When you talk of Shadanga Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga, they are steps, not parts. The word appears like that. They are steps. Asya angani. So in this process of concentration, there are steps. And the enumeration of these 8 steps is like Patanjali, but the definition is not like that, remember. The names are as suggested by Patanjali. Asya angani, yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhaya. Steps. Final step is samadhi. And he will also tell that all the samadhis described by Patanjali are only savikalpa, not nirvikalpa at all. He talks of nirvija, but that is only restraining the waves. So that is restraining itself is a wave. So he will come to that, but he has taken the 8 names given by Patanjali. Yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhaya. Up to pratyahara, it may be like Patanjali, but dharana, dhyana, samadhi definition will be completely different. I may remind that when I was taking classes, university classes only, started with Shankara's Aparokshanubhuti. And there, along with these 8 steps, 7 more steps are described, 15 steps. And all of them are defined by Advaita knowledge only. Yama, Niyama, all are being given the definition of Advaita only. So, one must refer to that. If you have the my discourses on that, or if you have that book with you, you follow that again here. But here Patanjali, Sadananda has given up to Pratyahara definitions given by Patanjali. And he has differed from Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. But Shankaracharya himself in the Aparokshanubhuti described not only 8 but 15 steps following Nididhyasana. There also has said that along with Nididhyasana, let you practice this also. And then he says that he has defined each one of them according to the Advaita knowledge only. So you are requested to refer to that book or my discourses on that book. Let us see now what is his definition. Tatra ahimsa satya asteya brahmacharya aparigraha yama. Ahimsa, non-injuring others by thought, word and deed. Satya, truthfulness by thought, word and deed. Asteya, not stealing or not coveting something belonging to others. Brahmacharya, sexual continence. Aparigraha has two meanings. Not to keep things more than absolutely necessary. I am always reminded, if you go to a gentleman's house, in the hall, there is a glass case. And below that glass cover, so many things are kept which are never used. So, don't keep things which are not of use. That is one meaning of parigraha, aparigraha. The other meaning is that don't receive free gifts. So, these are definitions given by Patanjali and accepted by Sadanandayati. And what are the niyamas? Shaucha, Santosha, Tapas, Swadhyaya, Ishvara Pranidhanani niyama. Cleanliness in thought, word and deed. Santosha, contentment for the things obtained by the world, not for one's own state. Not contentment for what I am. I want to change, I want to improve, I want to go to the reality. But what the world has given me, I am content with that. So my energies are not given in accumulating things. Wants are not to be increased. Tapa, like austerities, not standing on one leg or walking on the thorn or no. Those love of austerities. If we are prone to luxuries, we can't practice. So, distaste for luxuries of life, love for hard life, austerities, tapa. Swadhyaya has two meanings. Repetition of some text or mantra, or studying the scriptures yourself. Ishvara Pranidhanani. Now, Pranidhana is actually surrender. So here, Patanjali has seen people surrendering to God. His idea of God itself was very poor. But we know that the better we give up our ego and surrender to God mentally, that is the rule, niyama. Yama means general rules if you want to remain as human being, not fall down into animalism. And niyama means special rules if you want to spiritually progress. Asana. Kara charanadi samsthana vishesha lakshanani padma swastikadini asanani. He has gone into little details. Sthira sukham asanam iti na niyama. That means that posture which you can easily and steadily keep for a long time so that you can meditate. He has said, Kara charanadi samsthana vishesh. Where to keep your hands, where to keep your feet. That is the sign. Padmasana is one of the asanas where you keep legs folded upon each other. Swastikadini. Swastikasana is normal squatting. Sukhasana also it is called. Adi, there is Siddhasana, Virasana, Vajrasana also are there for practicing meditation. Whatever suits you, where you can sit for a longer time to meditate, is called the asana. This is still we are flowing in Patanjali's mode. रेचक पूरक कुंभक लक्षणाः प्राण निग्रहोपायाः प्राणायामः. Prana is the vital force, not breathing. But we want to achieve a hold on that vital force. That is pranayama. The signs are we are throwing breath out, we are feeling in, and we are holding it. That is the signs, lakshanaya. Methods, upaya, prana nigra, by controlling the vital energy in our body. Pranayama is called pranayama. Indriyanam swasya vishebhya pratyaharanam pratyahara. Indriyas are prone to go to their objects. And if we can withdraw them from their objects, that is called pratyahara. Up till this, we are following Patanjali. Now comes the difference. Advitiya vastuni antarindriya dharanam dharana. Dharana means conception. Patanjali's dharana is deshavanda chittasya dharana. On any spot in the space, outside the body and inside the body, if you hold on separately from other spaces, that is called dharana. Here, Sananda is different because it is Vedanta, and he says dharana means advitiya vastuni antarindriya. That means our inner organ, mind, chitta, buddhi, ahankar, they should have the correct conception of non-duality. That is called, as I told you, this comes from right Shravana. Now, the flow of the mind will go towards that, but it will get broken by our old sanskaras. That is called dhyan. Dhyan is the word which has come first time. It is not nididhyasana. Along with nididhyasana, these are to be practiced. So our mind is flowing towards Advaita, but some other thoughts also are coming. So that gets broken. Tatra advitiya vastuni vichidya antarindriya vritti pravaho. The vrittis are flowing, but in the inner organ, but they are getting broken also, and yet we are repeating that again and again. That is called dhyana. Samadhistu ukta savikalpaka eva. Here it becomes very clear that when Aham Brahmasmi is reached, then it is savikalpa samadhi. Nirvikalpa has already explained where the mind itself is not there, I is not there, that he has already explained. And he is explaining the 8 steps to that. So savikalpa samadhi is a step to nirvikalpa samadhi. Samadhi is tu ukta. I already told samadhi says savikalpaka eva. It is only advaita vritti. So we have gone up to 208 today. Starting from 180, I never hoped like that. 28 sentences we are read today, and carefully dealing with each of them. So how many remain now? 220 sentences, total sentences are 227. 19 remain. We may hope to complete on the next class itself. Let us see. Om Akhandam Satchidanandam Avang Manasa Gocharam Atmanam Akila Dharam Ashraye Vishta Siddhaye Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.